Well, hello and welcome, one and all, to the second episode of ASDIN TV. This is your host, Karthik Ramani, a fellow interventional nephrologist and a future attendee to the ASDIN annual meeting in Atlanta on 15 February. As we build up to the meeting, I'm very excited to tell you today that I'm joined by none other than Dr. Jeff Hoggard, who is my friend, mentor, and a visionary and leader in interventional nephrology. I welcome you, Dr. Hoggard, to our episode today. And I want to start off this little episode again and talking about the meeting by asking you about what talks are you excited about this meeting, in particular for first-time attendees, associate members, and trainees or students.
Well, thank you so much, Karthik. This is indeed a privilege and a pleasure to speak to you about this. This is a great opportunity to invite all of our interventional colleagues in the AV access world to come to the 15th annual meeting of the American Society of Diagnostic and Interventional Nephrology. The planning for this meeting really began at the conclusion of last year's meeting. We took feedback from attendees from last year's meeting in Salt Lake and put together a program committee who I think have put together an exciting topical program on AV access. And I think that new attendees will find a very enthusiastic group of experts in this field who are passionate about achieving excellence and good outcomes in AV access. They are going to be willing to interact with you and answer your questions, discuss with you how to get education in interventional aspects of AV access. But it's also an exciting time because there are new developments in our field, new techniques, new devices. So it's an exciting time to get involved with AV access, and you'll be surrounded by a lot of enthusiastic folks.
Yeah, I think I couldn't hit the nail on the head better at all, Jeff. I think that from attending as a fellow to attending as a research presenter, and then now attending as a delegate and as part of the communications committee, I've seen the evolution of the annual meeting. I've seen the opportunity that's available for not only us as interventional nephrologists, but also associate members and trainees. I remember very clearly that in the past we had an associate member track, and I think on Sunday as well, we have an exclusive associate member day. So if you can comment a little for our associate members as to what we have kind of arranged for them at this meeting to allow them to come and attend the meeting.
Thank you, Karthik, for allowing me to expand about the associates program. We've always had an associates program, and this year we're having a special program on Sunday. There is a specially discounted price for attending just the associates program if you so desire. But this is for anybody that works in the AV access world who might be a radiology tech, someone who cannulates access, RNs who work in the outpatient labs or in the dialysis units, who want to learn more about AV access. And the program on Sunday will involve everything from the physical exam of how to detect access dysfunction to actual how to plan AV access in your patients. There will be interesting discussion on foot checks, which are important in our patient population. A nice session on radiation safety. All these topics affect the quality of care of our patients, and I think it's going to be a dynamic program. And again, the presenters are going to be a very enthusiastic group of experts.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for touching on those important aspects. I think it truly does take a village to collaborate together to take care of an AV access. And also thanks for touching on some really world-class presenters and presentations that are going to be available for all of us to access also at the meeting and afterwards at the on our newly redesigned ASDIN website. So in addition to the talks that you're excited about, can you comment a little on the novel idea this time I saw we're partnering with VASA as well?
So we are delighted to be able to formalize this relationship with our sister society, the Vascular Surgeons of the Vascular Access Society of America. VASA is a similar society dedicated to achieving excellence in vascular access. And this is a society that's been predominantly run by our surgical colleagues, but increasingly the nephrologists have gotten involved with the society, and now there are interventional nephrologists on their board, and similarly we have invited members of the VASA Society to the ASDIN board so that there is crossbreeding of ideas. And so at this 15th annual meeting, we are actually giving them a dedicated session, which we're very excited about, and they are going to reciprocate by allowing us to have our own session at their annual meeting. And this will continue and will allow, again, us, the interventional nephrologists, to work in collaboration with our access surgeons. It's an exciting time.
Absolutely. No, I think that such partnerships are so critical to again, the survival and delivery of care for our patients and management of dialysis access care. I think it's also one thing which I've realized through the years of these annual meetings is about understanding the networking opportunities, to give a shout out to our industry partners, because we've got some really interesting talks as well at the annual meeting. So I am really excited for the meeting as well, as we're coming up closer and closer and building up towards the ASDIN annual meeting in Atlanta. So Jeff, again, thank you once again for taking the time and for explaining some of the relevant highlights of the sorry. If you could also, give a shout out to any of the other presenters as well who would like to, to join us on ASDIN TV, I'd really appreciate that. And as we are coming closer and building up towards ASDIN TV, I'd like to once again, thank you and welcome one and all to Atlanta in February. And I'd like to thank Jeff Hoggard and Bandhan and I are the co-chairs of the annual meeting for taking part in the first 2 episodes of ASDIN TV. And as we build up to ASDIN again, the next episode is going to be with Dr. Mani Vasi, the ASDIN president, who's going to talk about the state of interventional nephrology care. Thank you.
Dr. Ramani, thank you so much.
Thank you.